Whether you're looking for answers to specific life questions or seeking to become the best version of you possible, welcome to the Mental Breakdown and Psychreg podcast, where we offer insight, information, and strategies based upon research and years of practice as clinical psychologists. So sit back, have a listen, and get connected with our hosts, Dr. Berney Wilkinson and Dr. Richard Marshall. Welcome back. Richard, today we're going to continue our conversation about the way in which psychology and psychological principles are used to make you spend more money.
Right. And we're going to once again return to our friend Black Friday.
Yes.
Like Black Friday. We talked about it in an earlier podcast about the whole phenomenon of Black Friday that you and I didn't know about that growing up. I never heard the call. But your mother went shopping on
Thanksgiving Day.
Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah. I don't know.
Okay.
That's my memory.
Yeah.
Today we're going to talk about an article from Psychology Today entitled Black Friday Shopping, How Stores Use Psychology to Fill Your Cart.
Right. And this is a continuation of a podcast we did earlier about 10 tricks retailers use. And now we're talking about, I think there are 5 in this one, that specifically about separating you from your money on Black Friday.
Yes.
Right?
That is the goal, is to separate you from your money.
And we should say that this isn't just during the holiday season.
Right.
These are tricks or devices, methods that retailers use to increase sales throughout the year. It's just that there's this very deep push at holiday time, because holiday spending, the last quarter of the year, determines whether they're going to have a successful year or not.
And we wanted to talk about this article because it includes some things that were not present in the previous podcast, the one we did for yesterday, and it adds some things in that I think are really interesting.
Right.
So the first thing that we talk about here is an inflated suggested retail price.
That's right. When you go to these discount stores, we won't name names.
No.
But you go to these discount stores, and very frequently the price tag will have suggested retail. Okay.
Right. It says MSRP,
the
manufacturer's suggested retail price.
$85.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can get it for $20.
Well, you can get it for $29.99.
$29.99.
Right? And it's, whoa, this is a deal.
Yeah.
You
and it will
really
say, 50% off, 60% off the suggested retail price.
That's right. And so, wow, I'm saving $60.
Yeah.
And as she says, she might be a neuroscientist, because she said nothing lights up the brain as much as the thought of getting a bargain.
Right.
It just feeds that whole reward system of the brain. Like, wow, I'm really getting something special here. And in the end of that first one, she says, you need to start thinking not about what you're saving, but about what you're spending.
Right. Right.
I like when we go to the grocery store and they say, you saved $35. And I say, yeah, I spent $150.
Right.
But,
it's the idea of I had to buy it.
Right.
Because I was saving money by buying it. Well, you weren't saving money by buying it because it wasn't like you were going to buy it anyways.
That's right.
You didn't have the idea of buying it until you got there and you saw that it was on sale.
But it was you were saving so much money.
You just had to.
And there's a name for that in one of these that we'll get to eventually. There's a psychological principle involved. So we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah. Number 2, now this really gets into neuroscience.
Right.
Because number 2 is they put smells.
Scent.
C-E-N-T.
C-E-N-T, smell.
Scent into the air that make you more prone to purchase.
That's right.
It just smells like Christmas.
We said that, retailers use psychological principles, and one of them is that they've discovered that high sugar, high fat smells give you a sense of comfort, and it's easier for you to part with your money when you're smelling those things.
Yeah.
And so I was fascinated by this. There's a whole sensorium that they've studied as it relates to shopping.
Right.
Touch and smell and sights and sounds.
So that's why they put Christmas trees out front. So as soon as you're walking up, you can smell the Christmas tree, and it makes you this means I gotta buy stuff.
That's right, I gotta buy something. And so you have smells and you have sights, and there's Christmas music playing in the background. And you're all, it just puts you in the mood to buy.
Yeah. Number 3 is another really interesting psychological one, and that is that they start to sell food items in non-food stores.
Right.
So you have stores that don't usually sell anything that has to do with food, and they start selling some food things just to
Right.
Oh, wow. Look at this.
'Cause
Chocolate.
again, you can smell-
Chocolate at Kohl's. Who would buy chocolate at Kohl's? What do you know?
The first time I went to IKEA...
And not just any chocolate, it's Godiva chocolate.
That's true.
So
That's right.
I'm going to go to Kohl's and get some
Gold
fancy
foil.
chocolate.
Right. First time I went to IKEA, I was surprised that they had food.
Oh, yeah, their food court there.
They have a food court in IKEA, and I didn't expect that.
I think part of that, too, is because you're going to spend all day there.
You know, B.F. Skinner comes to mind when I'm
Yes.
in IKEA because they have those. You can't get out. It's like a maze.
It is. You have to walk through the whole store.
That's right.
There's no choice.
You want to get once you enter the maze. It's like a fun house at an amusement park, right? You have to go through the barrel and you have to look at all the funny mirrors, and then you finally get out. You finally find your way to the checkout counter. But, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And then you have this restaurant because you have to replenish because you're in there for so long.
You're so wore out.
You're stuck in there for 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
And you have to eat.
Yeah.
And drink.
And they sell Swedish meatballs. It's just
Do
that.
they still sell them?
Yes. So
I guess
yes,
we shouldn't be quite so irreverent, but
no, it's a. I think many people appreciate it, certainly, but it is a tactic to keep you in the store
keep you in
because
the store.
you know, especially if you're there with kids, you got to get food at some point, and so
Right.
instead of having it arranged so you have to hurry up and leave, they sell food things there so that you stay.
right. And you smell that food and you eat and you rest and maybe let's finish our shopping.
Yeah.
You know, now you feel a little bit replenished.
Exactly.
So it keeps you in the store.
Yeah. Number 4 is time pressure.
Oh,
So
yes.
they put a deadline on these specials, and man, that was last Friday,
They
right?
do that on Black Friday.
Black
don't
Friday.
they?
You know, between this time and this time, you can get these deals. Between this time and this time, you can get these deals. And so they have people constantly cycling through.
Right.
And really work to keep you there because there's always going to be something in the, you know,
Right.
the 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. time period that you want. But there's also something from the 6 a.m. to the 8 a.m.
Right.
time
And it's
slot that you
usually
want
in a
also.
2-hour time slot.
Right.
So that once you're in the store, well, I don't have to wait for an hour for the next
Yeah.
deal, right? And
Right.
so, but if you create this sense of urgency, it increases the likelihood that you're going to buy something.
Right.
I've got to get this,
Right.
and I have to get it before 6 o'clock.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the last thing they list here are the giveaways. If you get this, then you also get this at no extra cost. You mentioned it in the last podcast. You can get a second, just pay for the shipping.
That's right.
But it's these giveaways, these free items, these, 1 in 100 people will get this free something, and so it gets you in the store
Right.
because of the opportunity.
Yeah.
So the giveaways are another great way to keep you there and to
Right.
get you there and to make you
That's
spend
right.
there.
Free shipping, free,
Yeah. So those 5 things I think are much more, the ones that we talked about for yesterday were sort of marketing based and all
Right.
that. These 5 are very quite rooted in psychology.
Right.
This is a way that they are working on your psychology to get you to make purchases or to stay,
Right.
get to the store and get that wallet opened.
Right, and I'm going to say this once now, and I'm going to say it once in the next podcast that we do. We're not curmudgeons.
No.
We're not. This isn't bah humbug. But you really should understand that there is a bit of manipulation here to
Right.
make you part with your money. You can enjoy doing it, but it's important that you know that it's happening to
Right.
you. These things are not done accidentally. They're done to increase sales.
Right.
And so you needn't be a curmudgeon. You needn't be upset about it. It needn't dampen your holiday spirit. But please know that, and be careful.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you're going to get to January and you're going to have much more credit card debt than you really want.
Absolutely.
And then it's going to cast a pall on everything. So remember, January's coming.
Yes, absolutely. And January is where I think you've used the words you have to pay the piper.
Oh, gosh.
At that point. So yes. In the next podcast, we're going to talk about how to avoid that tendency to binge buy, binge purchase.
Right.
And so we're going to talk about that tomorrow. So, all right, that's it.
Yes, that's it.
Thanks so much for listening. Make sure that you follow us on YouTube and iTunes and wherever it is that you follow us. Subscribe and share us with other people, all of your friends and enemies and family members.
And share your holiday shopping
Share your thoughts
experiences.
with us.
Let us know.
Yeah.
Call in, write in, email, text, Twitter.
any of those things
Any
would
of
be
those
great.
things. Let us know about your holiday shopping experiences.
Right.
Okay.
Check out our Patreon page. We have launched it. We are ready to go, trying to help, get some support from those of you who are willing and able and have the means to do so, so that we can do some more. We have a lot of plans for 2018, some new things that we want to do, and we just need a little bit of support so that we can have the time to be able to get those things done. So check out our Patreon page. The link to everything, including the article that we talked about today, is in the show notes. So check that out and see what you think, and let us hear from you. That would be great.
Yep.
All right. Until next time, stay happy, stay healthy, and forget to be afraid.